United Talk here at the Old Volunteer in Caythorpe, carrying on with our end of season review. Obviously it's not a good season, so we're going to kick it off this part of the video by talking about what went wrong this season. So George, talk about before the season even started, pre-season, before any pre-season friendlies, the signings start to come in. What do you think?
Well, you just look at the bookmakers and the favourites to go up. Straight away you're going in with that confidence. You're thinking, you're backing Nolan because of what he did in the playoffs.
Definitely. You're thinking the playoffs have spurred them on.
Yeah, but there's a lot to be said about Nolan. I think there's a lot of fans saying they'd like to see him still there.
Stead said it.
Stead said it in his interview. But you just never really know what's going on behind the scenes. That's the problem. And
well, hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? We all thought it was brilliant at the start of the season.
Well, you were looking at for example, when you seen that we're signing Hemmings.
Yeah.
You're buzzing.
We were really positive at the start.
You're like, great player.
He could do a job in League One.
I still maintain on paper that team, even now it's got relegated, is a top 7 team.
It is.
On paper.
It really is. Yeah, it really is.
But yeah, we're bookmakers' favourites.
I think for me, possibly where it went wrong was, I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know anything really. But this is just me drawing something. But I think maybe Nolan had an idea and he said that he wanted to take us into League One that season. He maybe took it hard.
I think he thought it'd be easy though.
I don't know. I can't imagine a manager going into a club at that level. Maybe he thought it'd be easier because of the backing that he had from Alan Hardy. But he's not been given long, has he? I mean, do you give someone long that's got the record that he has? Or that he had?
I think the problem pre-season is no one has significantly improved that defence.
No.
I know you've got player of the season.
You're almost blind to it.
You're screaming that though. You're screaming why you're not strengthening the defence.
But was the defence really the issue?
Defence was good last year.
Yeah, last season, looking into it.
But kind of what we spoke about earlier in a previous video is that the wingers were different. The thing that made our defence so great last year is that we had Hawkridge and Grant, who would get back and cover and help out the crosses. And when you look at this year, we've replaced both of those wingers. And is it a surprise that we were most vulnerable from crosses?
That's the thing though, these days, when you recruit players, you used to recruit a winger that could take someone on and score. You used to recruit a midfielder that could win the ball back and pass it. Football's different. You need a winger that can take players on, score, track back, drop in the middle if it's needed. You need a midfielder that can do everything. I just feel like they were recruited as Enzio was recruited as someone that's just going to
individuals.
Yeah, they were. They
weren't recruited as a team. It was recruited as we're going to sign I know it wasn't 11. We'll say 11 best players that are out there.
Yeah.
It wasn't. We're going to sign 11 players that we think will make a real title challenge and will be a good team.
Yeah.
So I would say this, that when you look at the end of last season, and they lost Alan Smith, Sheldon Amiobi, lost Mike Edwards.
Yeah.
I think that's 3 people who in the dressing room would have a lot of sway. And in Mike Edwards, you've got someone also who, well, we know how committed he is to the club. You've also got Nolan, who admitted that he took that defeat to Coventry very, very badly. It took him hard, which is fair enough. I ain't got a problem with that. So did he come back a slightly deflated? Yeah. Or I'll say I use the word damaged. I don't mean he was damaged, but he comes back doubting that he can do it. They lost. They got rid of Fort. And I know people had a go at Jonathan Fort. He doesn't run this and that, but he scored goals. And that was one of the things.
Yeah.
And I think shows.
He was inconsistent, but
goals.
You're not playing in League Two if there's everything's great about you.
And that's the other thing to remember.
Yeah.
And I don't just think those things combined where it went wrong. Then you've got Kill comes in, and from what we're led to believe, okay, had a great win ratio, but maybe not everybody took to his style of play. You've then got things happening off the pitch that started. So I think it was just a perfect song. I think I'm not sure what else could have gone wrong this season. I keep trying to think of what else, but it seems like everything just kept going boom, 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 and yeah.
Well, the first thing that stands out for me was it open day 0-0 against Colchester, and I remember there was nothing in that game, no spark or anything. I remember I was on holiday, and I get the text from James because I can't obviously see the game against Yeovil. 10 minutes in, I get a text from James. It's just like watching Juve, right?
And
on holiday, it was
for that 10 minutes.
And then I look at my phone again. 4-0. Was it 4-0? It was. And I thought.
Opening was 0-0.
First home game of the season, was it?
Yeah,
Colchester.
Talking about Yeovil though.
Yeah.
The Yeovil, yeah, the Yeovil. And I think
First 10 minutes of Yeovil were fantastic.
Okay, so I get the text in the Yeovil game. So I thought, well, watching Juve, I won't look at the phone again. 4-0.
And it was to them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's even if your team going for the top, you don't lose 4-0.
But even after that 4-0 loss, we were still optimistic about the season.
Yeah,
It was so strange, wasn't it? 'Cause
we
every
were blind
part
to
of we played well, but we just seemed to weirdly lose games.
I feel like that about a lot of the games though. When you look at the game, maybe there's the odd mistake here and there that are just unlucky, and I feel like that about a lot of the games. We've been very unlucky. Like we've discussed about it before, where we just feel like some of the balls fell wrong all the time.
Go back to that. Everything that could go wrong,
Yeah, exactly.
or some couldn't go wrong, but wouldn't go right for us, happened.
Yeah.
Balls not bouncing, referees making decisions, players making decisions. Yeah.
Going back even before the season kicked off, there was Hardy spoke about recently that the pre-season we had, that he discussed with the physios and the fitness people, that they felt the pre-season was poor, and that was part of the reason why we'd had so many injuries.
Probably soft tissue injuries.
Yeah. It wasn't notably lacking in games the pre-season. I think we did play, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was Leicester, there was Derby, there was Luton, there was
the usuals against
Baseford. I think Rolls-Royce was usually the kids, but that's effectively 3 serious games and 2 obligatory ones we got to play because of training facilities.
Yeah.
Is that really a pre-season, 3 games?
No, it's not. Is it?
The Leicester game we went to, it's Leicester, but Notts were so open, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were being attacked at will. It's Leicester, I know, but they were being attacked at will. Like,
Well, it was very much men against boys.
yeah.
It was almost like attack against defence, a very good attack against the.
And you think to yourself, don't you? How's this preparing them for the season? I know it's good to get a big team in, but they got mauled in the end.
Yeah.
Right, so you've got to the end of Nolan era, and you didn't get a win, did he? So you've got no wins, and then Kuehl comes in. What do you reckon to Kuehl's appointment?
I think Alan Hardy said I would give him a longer contract if I could even.
So I want to say something. So Kuehl before Notts,
before Crawley.
yeah, I believe he was at Watford, right?
Yeah.
Under 23 manager, and it's something like 4 wins in his whole time there. So and it's coming up to like 2 years.
You had some good players there as well.
Yeah.
Success.
It's like so many wins in 2 years, and I remember reading something about the excuse was it's not about results, it's just about getting the players to play and fitness. I don't care who you're managing, if you're getting 3 or 4 wins in nearly 2 years at a youth level.
I think the thing is, you're only ever as good as your last job in football. So I can see why they went for him.
At any level of football though, when are you going into a game and not wanting to win a game? What a ridiculous thing to say.
Yeah, that's and he didn't come across that well to me anyway in interviews.
Is that part of his psyche of trying to improve people? I don't know. That's a crazy thing to say, but
No, I know what you mean.
you know, it's look. I'm trying to improve these players, and they will get better, and we will win more. But really, no football fan's going to actually take that, especially when we're right down the bottom. It's like, no, I want to see wins. I don't really care if they improve as players. I have no desire.
How much of a footballing appointment do you actually think it was? Because he doesn't shy that he's a Liverpool fan, and suddenly employing a Liverpool legend.
Oh right, good.
Who?
Interesting.
Hardy.
He's an open Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Oh right.
So
Played
One
in
off his
the
list.
Champions League final,
Makes
yeah,
sense, that,
2005. Yeah, good point.
Well, his style of football was not enjoyable. I'd read from qualifying.
Either worst football.
I've read from qualifying. It was pass.
He's
and
very
not
negative
really
from
getting
day one, I thought. And the team didn't respond to negativity at all.
Yeah.
Didn't respond to much, but
Well,
certainly not
I'd
negativity.
mention that's where you've got those people under Nolan, these splits that they talk about. Then you've got the Nolans going, a second. Then you've got his players that he's bringing back in,
Yeah.
saying, well, hold on, no, So yeah, maybe that's where the divisions.
I think the season. I think the thing that kind of cost Kuehl in the end was his mannerism. It's kind of like he wasn't accepting or willing to change.
Fans didn't take to him that much.
But I think if he would have stayed for the end of the season, I do think it would have been a better position than we were, because his style of football, what he was playing, which was a possession-based game, which, to be fair, I think some of the best performances Notts had. I spoke about earlier, MK away. I thought that was one of the, I know they lost,
very good.
but they were good. That was complete polar opposite as to what Nolan was playing. He was playing. I know it kind of changed from last season to the beginning of this season, but he was all about big target men, smash mouth football, get balls in the box. It was a low possession game. Defend hard, keep your clean sheets to start with, and build from there. Whereas Kuehl was, you can't just expect the team to do a full 180. And next thing they're playing like Barca, but that was that's what the style of plays based on, isn't it? Possession.
So
based.
for you, would they have stayed up with Kuehl?
I don't think we'd have gone
I
to
think
the
they
last
would
day. I don't think it'd have gone to last day.
I don't know.
Well, you think we'd have
Gone down.
crashed out?
No. I think he either we would have crashed out massively, or he would have had us well clear.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It'd be one way or the other. We would have been safe,
There's a lot
or
to-
we would have been gone.
There's a lot to be said about that, though. It's all in hindsight, isn't it? So
It's a wonderful thing, as James said. Wonderful thing. I'd say.
Yeah.
But obviously, you can't make judgments because Kuehl would have had January, wouldn't he?
Yeah. I think what's also worth noting when we're talking about the Kuehl and Nolan sackings is, firstly, when Nolan left, we didn't sack Nolan because we thought, we're going to get relegated. We sacked Nolan because the aim was to go
get
up.
promoted.
Yeah.
We got the budget for it. Everyone had already decided we were going up. We were going to push for this promotion thing. So, like Stead's interview where he said, I think if we had Nolan here, we would be safe. I probably agree, but we weren't looking to just stay up at the time. And it may be slightly different with Kuehl. I think there was a bit of panic and a change because of that, but. No one got the chance. The problem was at the time, because our expectations, it's kind of what killed us in a way. Our expectations were so high that until it was kind of too late, we were still. The
I
ownership
think
still
in
had.
January we were still looking.
Yeah,
at
still
mid-table
thought,
finish,
yeah.
I thought, maybe.
Maybe we've got a chance.
All good do is, let's say we win 5 or 6 on the bounce, all of a sudden, bang, bang, bang.
We were
Yeah.
still expecting us to have this promotion form at the end of the season that could have snuck us in.
So what about when Ardley came in? What was the objective when Ardley came in, do you think?
Stay up.
Survival.
Do you think it was just
Yeah.
simple
Yeah,
like that?
100%.
I feel sorry for him a wee bit. He has to take responsibility for the results, obviously, to some degree since he came in, but I just think he got such a crap storm to deal with that I don't know. I generally, at that point, you could have brought anyone in. I don't think we would have stayed.
No, I agree.
The thing is, you could have recruited anyone in January, but in the position they were in, not the players that want a good career in football, the younger players, maybe even the older players that want to finish their career in a better way, maybe. Who's going to want to come to a team that's possibly going down?
The thing is,
it's a struggle to recruit.
The only players that are going to take us up on that are players that are wanting 18-month contracts or wanting that job security. And let's be honest, if you're doing a great job in League Two, which is the players we should have been going for on paper, you're already going to be tied up. You're not going to be playing for an 18-month contract somewhere because you might be out of a job in the summer. You know you've got something going forwards.
It'd be interesting to know, because I mentioned this 80% of Neil Ardley's transfer targets wouldn't come because of the position. It'd be interesting to know who those targets were. We'll never
that's a good
find
point.
out.
Yeah,
I wonder who they were.
yeah.
Were they realistic or?
Yeah, or was it just? Is it just a? I don't know, a fantasy figure that someone's.
I think the players that did come in, like O'Brien and Doyle and Rose, I think they were there thinking, right, we've come in now, we're going to keep Notts up, and next season we're going to have a promotion campaign. That's what I think they thought.
Yeah, I think they all spoke about it when they came in interviews. I think that they always said, "Oh, well, the first thing is we want to get to 40 points or whatever it was, and then I want to start thinking about next season going up."
And that's great mentality to have that coming in.
It is.
But then if you've got those, say, go back to those divisions within the dressing room, and there's someone going, yeah, right, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, we could still go up next season.
That's not what they were thinking.
Just from the National League.
Do you think you're taking your eye off the prize a bit there if you're already thinking too far ahead? You're not thinking of the job in mind.
And then I think
need
it
to
makes
stay
it
up.
difficult. I think then having that mentality.
I think it's good to have a
Yeah.
good mentality though. You can't go in and think, oh, I think it's good to obviously focus on the objective as of coming in and staying up. But I think it's from another fan perspective. If a player's coming in and they're saying, oh yeah, we want to stay up and then push for next season.
It's like that
Push for
striker that's
promotion.
through on goal. They've already seen their name in lights, and then they blaze it 15 yards wide, and you're like, and I think you take the situation that you're in, deal with that, then move on to the next.
How late on in the season do you think the players actually realise that, hang on here, we might go down? Because
I think it depends on the player.
it
I think
seems,
I think
especially
some-
on management.
I think some fans didn't realise until Cambridge
Yeah.
let the goal in.
Yeah.
I thought up until very late on in the season, I think not staying up. But I think some fans generally didn't realise until like the 85th minute that actually we're
It's a
gone.
difficult one to take.
For me, yeah, for a Notts fan, I kind of feel this. I don't know if you agree, but you feel almost entitled to stay in the league.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's
I
kind
know,
of
'cause
like the players also think.
Well, it's that world's oldest football league.
That's all it
club.
is though. That's
And
arrogance.
I've said before.
Sign's already
Has
down.
this been a millstone around our neck? This almost divine right in some way.
Yeah, but
But
Yeah, I don't want to go too much into talking about National League because that would be a later video. But
yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
for you, James, when did you realise that? What point did you realise that this was pretty bad? Because you can't deny that.
Swimming away.
As Notts fans, you didn't even in January.
No, you sort of, because I know stupid at work, everyone's driving. You go, oh, you're going down. You're saying no. We're Notts County. We're fine.
yeah, that's the.
We're in a bad situation, but we've never done it before, and it'll never happen.
And then you get the 3
And
games,
then
Lincoln, Forest,
3
and
games
Mansfield.
left, and you think when we didn't win the first of those 3, I think did we draw and the others round us win? Something like that.
Was it the Exeter?
They certainly gained points.
The Exeter game was a killer.
Yeah, 3 games to go. You
That
don't
could've
win
been
that.
massive.
You don't win that one. You think you've got 2 games left and it's not in our hands. That's when you worry.
Do you know if Notts don't lose to Exeter, who had 10 men for like 60 minutes,
Yeah.
that last game of the season, Notts win would have saved them.
Yeah.
That was a game where you just felt frustrated the whole game because we were on the ball, we were firing at the goal, but there's just the final third we're just useless.
It's a game that makes no sense
We know.
because throughout the entirety of Ardley's tenure, people criticised him for not going for the 3 points, of taking a point. And the one time, which we probably should have just taken a point, we went for it and we lost. And I don't know if that backs up my point. We should have gone for it a bit more because we wouldn't have been this issue. Or does that also say maybe he was right to take a few points?
Well, it's that, yeah.
I don't know.
Boom or bust, isn't it? It was pre-Christmas. I just thought
Really?
this looks like a side. Yeah, it just looks like a side that has no confidence. Speaking to someone, and they said we flirted with this so many times in the past. Eventually, it's going to bite us on the bum.
Stellard said it. He had an interview a couple of weeks ago. He said the exact same thing.
And for me, I just looked at, before Christmas. I was like, I've got this feeling this is not going to go our way.
See, I disagree on that. Not so much in terms of what we'd seen, but the appointment of Ardley. I kind of had confidence in that. And to be fair,
I had
I
hope.
might-
Sensible.
there might be disagree, but I still do. As a manager, I like him.
I had hope, but there was that little devil on the shoulder that was just going, nah, mate, ain't gonna happen.
This is the season, wasn't it, where it's not the same thing. It's not like a team being taken over and they're the rich, but it was a team that had investment, and Notts were the team to take down this season.
Yeah.
It's
That's a good point.
Too many things started to go wrong.
Yeah.
Too many little things started to happen. You're there going, hang on a sec. You know, all these little things are going to add up eventually.
Yeah.
And they have.
And they did.
Yeah.
And
Certainly don't think the ownership situation helped, especially towards the end of the season.
But that's disruptive. That's so disruptive, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I don't want to say too much, but if the owner's going to wait it out to the end of the season to sell the club because he's committed to that, just leave it to the end of the season.
Yeah.
In the worst position.
Just felt like other clubs around there, especially Macclesfield at the moment, their Achilles heel was their finances. They were struggling for finances and they didn't get paid for the last month. And you thought, in a season where we need every little bit of advantage, at least keep the fact that we could be financially secure or we could have a stable ownership just for a few months.
Yeah.
Just have that, so we at least got something on someone.
I mean, unfortunately, you know, those are things that you don't know about what's happening, and you can't speculate. It's just
There's a lot of points where the season went wrong, I think, this year, and there's realistically not many positives.
No.
So
beat Mansfield.
yeah. Just
Take
remember
that
beat
one.
Mansfield.
Yeah. Hang on to that.
New grounds next year.
God,
Yeah, some cracking away
Yeah, we'll
games.
talk about that in a sec. Yeah, so new grounds next year.
Mm.
We've got to look at it on the positives.